Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living, La Crescenta, where it's our dream to help you build and manifest your dream. We are so blessed today to have with us Reverend Mary Morgan from Center for Spiritual Living, Redondo Beach. And I also want you to know the other folks who are helping us out. Grant Ackerman on camera, Catherine Ray on sound, our producer. We are so blessed to have so many people working so hard to bring this to you today.
I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music down in my soul. I hear the music, oh yeah, down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I got a new day down in my soul. I got a new day down in my soul. Every day is a new day. Oh yeah, down in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I love the silence deep down in my soul. I love the silence deep down in my soul. I love the silence deep in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. I feel God's presence way down deep in my soul. I feel God's presence, oh yeah. I feel the presence in my soul. I feel God's presence deep, way down deep in my soul. And the whole wide world is my home. Yes, it is. The whole wide world is my home.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Reverend Mary Morgan, and I would like you to join with me right now in our affirmative prayer. So let us know together there is one power, one presence, one divine creative intelligence. I call it God. I call it divine mind. And it is experiencing life through each and every one of us. And the power of that creative intelligence is available for each and every one of us to use. And so right here and right now, I know for myself and all beyond that I choose love, I choose goodness, I choose abundance, creative life, perfect health, beautiful relationships of all types, right here and right now. I know that this power that created me is always guiding, directing, and protecting me as I take my steps through life, knowing that I release whatever might have been stopping or blocking my good from showing up in my experience. And instead, I embrace this goodness. I embrace this light. And I say that I am ready. I am ready to accept the goodness of life as me. And so as I release this prayer, I know that my word is heard and it is always manifest as I believe. So I keep my energy solid and sound and true. And I know that my word is always answered. And I remind myself every day, I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. As we release this, together we affirm, and so it is.
Please join me in singing, "And So It Is." God is all there is. I am one with the Spirit. I realize the truth, and I speak it. I am thankful for it all. I release it. I let it go. And so it is. And so it is. I know it is, and I receive as I believe. Amen. Amen.
And now our reading from The Science of Mind, written by Dr. Ernest Holmes, page 358, paragraphs 2 and 3. There is a place in the mentality, in the heights of its greatest realizations, where it throws itself with complete abandonment into the very center of the universe. There is a point in the supreme moment of realization where the individual merges with the universe, but not to the loss of his individuality, where a sense of the oneness of all of life so enters into his being that there is no sense of otherness. It is here that the mentality performs seeming miracles, because there is nothing to hinder the whole from coming through. We can do this only by providing the mental equivalent of life, by dwelling and meditating upon the immensity of life and the fact that, as vast and as immense and as limited as it is, the whole of it is brought to the point of our own consciousness. We comprehend the infinite only to the degree that it expresses itself through us, becoming to us that which we believe it to be. So daily we practice our meditation, the realization of life, infinite indwelling spirit within me, Almighty God within me, real substance within me, that which is truth within me. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me.
Today the talk is called There is a Way. And I believe that one of the ways that you can have everything you desire is to just relax and let it happen. And this is called Feeling Groovy. I know you can all sing along. groovy. Hello, lamppost, what you knowin'? I come to watch your flowers growin'. Ain't you got no rhymes for me? Doo-doo-doo-doo, feeling groovy. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da, feeling groovy. I got no deeds to do, no promises to keep. I'm dappled and drowsy and ready for sleep. Let the morning drop all of its petals on me. Life, I love you. All is groovy. All is groovy. All is groovy. Life, I love you. All is groovy. Groovy, groovy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. It's groovy.
Good morning. Today our lesson is There is a Way. Many years ago, some of you may remember, there was a television show called There is a Way, and various ministers would come on, New Thought ministers, and tell us how we could help our lives be better. And that's what I'm going to help you with today. What I know in these many years I've been in the ministry, 27 years, is that we have to allow the living, loving presence of God to move in, around, and through us to bring forth our desires. And that means that we have to trust and be in alignment with that presence. I have a few ways that I can explain to you. When I was first in New Thought, which was many, many years ago, I liked the books that told stories about how people made these principles work for them. And one of them was Catherine Ponder telling how she wanted a convertible. And she had a vision board. And on that vision board, she had a blue convertible. And she looked at the vision board, and she looked at the vision board. But what she didn't know that was something was missing. She didn't put herself in that convertible, and one day her son drove up in the blue convertible. You see, we have to be very specific about what we want, and then let it go, let that desire go into the divine law of mind, and allow that divine law to bring your manifestation to you. Now, I laugh at myself because I've been in New Thought, religious science, since 77, and many years before that I started reading New Thought books. But back when I was a teenager, the first Chevrolet Impalas came out. They came out in 57 for the 1958 Impalas. I wanted an Impala so bad. I really wanted a Chevrolet Impala. It took me 42 years to get my first Impala. Why? Because I really didn't work on it. I didn't pray every day about it. I didn't visualize. I didn't have a vision board. However, I've been driving Chevrolet Impalas ever since 2002. Now, the interesting thing, and I love my Chevrolet Impalas. I love them. Chevrolet decided to quit making them. I think 2019 is the last one. And that brings me to the place where sometimes we have regrets, my friends. When we have regrets, it impedes our progress as far as letting it happen, allowing it to happen. And so I think when I bought this car, I think I did say this will probably be my last car anyway. I don't know, but I do like that car. And I'm very, very, very happy with it. Now, the other part of this is practice the principles. When we practice the principles, when we allow the presence to move in, around, and through us, we can manifest. Now, let me tell you this, and I just love the idea that we are divine, unique expressions of God. Divine, unique expressions. Now, what does that mean? That means all the power, all the glory that is in God is right where you are. And at the same time, we forget, don't we? We forget. Now, I'm going to say something that some of you aren't going to like to hear, but there are no victims. There are no victims because something in our thinking has brought about circumstances into our lives. I remember a lot of people, especially with this pandemic, saying, I don't remember signing on for this. Well, you know what? We probably did. But that was long ago and far away. And so what are we going to do about this? It's very interesting that the presence is right where everything is. The presence is right there. And so look for the good and bless it. Look for the good and bless it. We are getting into many more homes, recording these and having you watch them on YouTube than individuals who come into church, than the attendance at church. And so that is the blessing there. Now I'm going to give you another story that I really like. We have a rabbi who has helped us with our candle lighting for many, many years. I met her at a prayer breakfast, and she told me her story. When she was young, she wanted to be a cantor. She so badly wanted to be a cantor. But in her religion at the time, women were not allowed. But she had a beautiful voice, a really beautiful voice. And the rabbi where she attended knew that. And so when they first allowed women to be cantors, he called her. He said, Janet, you can come in. You can be a cantor now. Well, it moved beyond that. Janet wanted to be a rabbi. And eventually, she was allowed to be a rabbi. And she's quite a gal. The first time that she did the candle lighting for us, she lights the menorah and tells us the story. We're sitting here on the platform. We're singing Christmas songs. And I'm hearing her beautiful voice singing Christmas songs. And I'm thinking, this Jewish girl knows Christmas songs? And then she told me while she was studying to be a rabbi, one of the ways she made money was caroling. So she knew those songs as well as we did. It's desire, my friends. It's desire. The way we communicate with Spirit is through our feeling nature. Through our feeling nature. And when we do that, when we feel something, when we really, really feel it, then the living, loving presence of God takes that as an order, and the universe stumbles all over itself to bring it to you. You know, another story about cars, even though I had the Impala at the back of my mind, I wanted a Cadillac. And I was attending the Whittier Church of Religious Science at the time, the late 70s. And a man in the congregation who was my friend bought a new Cadillac. And I said to him, hey, I've been treating for a Cadillac. You got one? And he said, yours is on its way. Now, sometimes, friends, I want you to hear that. He said, yours is on its way. This is how we can encourage each other. At the time, I was working as administrative assistants to Bob and George Williams at Dial Chevrolet in Norwalk. And they brought a Seville in as a lease return, a Cadillac Seville, and they said, would you like that Cadillac? And I said, I would love to have that Cadillac. Well, guess what? I got to buy it for what they brought it in for. And when you talk about the way things are now and then, that Cadillac I was able to buy for $7,000. And at that time, it would have been a $13,000 car. So I had my Cadillac Seville. But I really did want a Cadillac. And like I said, my friend said, yours, it's on its way. So the way we help make things happen, my friends, is there is a way by telling each other there is a way. I was speaking to Reverend Emma the other day, and there's something I told her that I really wanted to manifest. It's kind of way out there, but I really want to manifest it. And she said, these are really powerful words. You have to allow it. First, you have to allow it. And when you allow it, it will happen. And Wayne Dyer said something very similar. You'll see it when you believe it. You'll see it when you believe it. So all of this, my friends, is an inside job. It's an inside job, inside and out. I received an email from a person the other day saying something like, positive isn't always the way to go. And I couldn't agree with that. And the reason I can't is you can be crying on the inside and laughing on the outside, and you're not in alignment with spiritual principles. And so that does not discount feeling your emotions. That doesn't discount being sad about things that happen in your life. You just don't stay there and build a condo and live in it forever. This past week, an animal who I just love was put down. He was our mascot at Foster's Donuts in La Crescenta. And the owner called and said, didn't tell me what they were going to do. We're going to go to Foster's Donuts and we're going to get donut holes for Zeus, the dog. And then we're going to go over to St. Luke's, sit in the courtyard, let him have the donuts. Somehow I didn't make that meeting, but it was Zook's his very last outing. And then that day, they had the vet come to their home. He was not in great shape, but a wonderful, wonderful, loving dog. And so I allowed myself to be sad about that. I allowed myself. But at the same time, I'm rejoicing that Zeus crossed the rainbow bridge and he's romping in a body, a spiritual body, that no longer hurts or causes him grief. So you see, life is interesting. It's a progression of spiritual principles, a progression of spiritual growth, and we have to know that there is a way regarding whatever the circumstances may be. So many people overcome so many things. And it's so inspiring to me when they do. It's so very inspiring. Our very own Gary Bates, who passed away a couple of years ago and loved him so much, and he was also a dance professor at several colleges. And I call it the disease of the rich and famous because he got into drugs and alcohol. And when he came here, he was clean. And I said to him, what caused you to turn your life around? He said, I was looking for drugs in MacArthur Park, and I knew if I found them, I was going to die. And so he got into AA and cleaned himself up. And our dear Gary used to dance in the aisles when Michelle Gillette would sing. And we loved every single minute of it. But he turned his life around. And so the words I'm trying to express to you today, my friends, are there is a way. If you have a challenge, know that the living, loving presence is right where you are. All the power, the divine intelligence, the guidance, everything is right where you are. And we are here to help you through challenges. We are here. The practitioners, call the office, talk to me, talk to our practitioners. We're here to help you through any challenges that you might have right now. I so appreciate the fact that religious science principles can help everybody and anybody through any kind of turmoil in their lives. Now, another cute little story. before I end my lesson here today. I was debating whether I should say it like this, but I'm going to say it. Sometimes it doesn't take much to stress me out. And in my complex, they were going to put blacktop in our driveway between our carports. Well, that meant parking in the street. And I thought, and we live at the top of a hill. And I was stressing. And it just so happened that next door, a woman who had wrecked her car, unfortunately, her carport was empty. So I was able to park my car in that carport the whole time. Do you hear what I'm saying? I want you to understand there is a way. There is a way. And if you can't find your way out, we're here to help you find your way out. You don't have to go down the rabbit hole. You don't have to stress. You don't have to be worried. And as I said, I was stressed out about this parking thing, and it opened up in front of me. It did, because I knew something would happen, but I wasn't sure what it was. I didn't have a clue, but it opened up for me. So I want you to do this. I want you to understand that if you have anything facing you right now, if it's a sad thing, or if there's something you want to manifest, a big deal you'd like to manifest, dream big. Know that the presence is right there with you, and know that there is a way. And so ends our lesson.
This is the time of our offertory affirmation. And before we begin with that affirmation, I'd like you to think about this center and what it means to you. And if it has brought great abundance into your life, great joy, great love, a great sense of peace and well-being, think about sharing that goodness with this center by means of your tithe. This center has been valuable to many, many people. We want to make sure it stays here for a very long time. And so we invite you to think about maybe when you've gone to a restaurant and enjoyed a lovely meal, how you have no issues paying for this lovely meal by means of the bill. So think about this service in the same way. How can you repay this service by means of your time, your treasure, and your tithe? Thank you. And let's share our affirmation together. Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is the evidence of my conviction that God is the source and the substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of this spiritual center, knowing that it returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is.
Please join me in singing our offertory song, I Am So Blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so thankful. I am so blessed.
Now is the time for our benediction. I want you to close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, and let these words be your words. Something wonderful is happening through you right now. It's happening through your mind, your body, and every aspect of your life. You think it, you know it. You believe it, You accept it. You are never alone, for the living, loving presence of God is right where you are. And so it is.
Well, now let's join together and sing Let There Be Peace on Earth, our final song. Let there be peace on earth, now it has begun with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Peace has begun with me, so this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth now.